Hello. So welcome. This is going to be the first episode that I try and do. Um, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to see where this can go. I know it's going to be rough and it's probably going to take me forever, but it's going to take me a couple of episodes to get into the flow of things and start figuring out the format and how I want to do these and record them. So I guess I'll just start with like a little introduction. Some of the gear that I'm running through. As you can see over here, I use everything with Amplitude 5. And right now, this isn't the actual tone I'm going to end up using for the guitars. I was just practicing with that, but probably going to end up using this tone right here. Just keep it simple. This has a ton of different cab options, so I can really mess around and see what I like, what kind of sound I can get. So I'll mess with that later and kind of explain that later on. I actually just got this the other day, little drum pad, so I'll be able to do some programming on drums with the kick here. So that'll be super cool. It means I don't have to spend as much time on the keyboard and moving things around. I can kind of just quantize them all and get them lined up, and it should sound pretty good to start out. Nextly, got the guitar set up. I'm going to try and record this one with the 7-string Jackson I have over here. I really like that guitar. It's pretty cool. Good budget 7-string. And then for preamp, I use this. It's a Metal Zone MT2. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm going to see how that sounds here in a minute. And yeah, just like a slight introduction, and yeah, let's get things started. Okay, we got this all figured out now. I think I got a little riff in mind. Pretty basic tone we're working with. I can adjust as need be, but it's going to be something kind of like this. Figured out. See how it sounds. Not bad. So you got that beginning part. Okay, we're back. I fixed some stuff. I was having some issues with getting multiple takes after that first one, but I got it figured out. It's gonna record a different layer, and then I'll just add it on top, which will be helpful because they're different colors, and I can see which take is which. So it kind of works out that way. So we kind of ended off with this little bum 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 bum. So it's like, I was thinking we just go straight into like more tremolo picking because it's a lead guitar, so it'll be more like. You get the gist, something like that. Just gonna noodle around and see what we come up with here. I'm so off. I am so off there. Let's try it again. So I'm just gonna loop that twice, this twice. Yeah, I'll do that twice. Okay, so twice. Just gotta get a good take, basically. So we'll kind of just record this until I keep getting a good take. I think I got it now. Although I keep saying that, but... See how that sounds. See how that sounds too. I think that's fine. Okay, I think that's good for now. See how this sounds. Okay, I think that's pretty good for beginning lead part. Camera's about to die, so I think that's where I'm going to cut this first lead part. I will be back here soon. We got 30 seconds on there. Yeah, I guess I'll come back. I just had a straight goof moment. I recorded a ton of stuff just a second ago, this like other rhythm part. I was muted the entire time. I wasn't very smart, but you know, that's what happens when you're beginning to make videos. So I'll kind of explain my thought process then. So what I did with these tracks, it's basically just following the same which is the first part, which is the tremolo. So it's pretty simple. Then I add a little pinch harmonic at the end just to kind of go in the transition. And the second thing I did was, it's very similar to what I just did. It's a little bit more chuggy, not really just chords. And so there I just have like a little bend there. Simple power chord. Kind of follows the same thing that's going on here, which is... it's going like this, it's going... whoops. It's going like ba-da, and I just followed and did the same thing and did the... same thing. 12. Very simple. It's basically just following the lead part, just with like a chorded section. Nothing too crazy. Anyways, like I was saying, I think this is pretty good for the rhythm. For this first episode, I'm not really looking for something that's like absolutely insane and like really good. I just kind of want to get something out there just to start. So this isn't the most high quality video, and this definitely isn't a very polished riff. I just kind of want to write some parts, figure things out, add some drums, try and do a little bit of mixing and fix the tone on some of these guitars, and just try and make like a full mix. You know, this is very short. It's only 30 seconds, but it's how I expect these first few to go. So that explains that part. It stinks that I forgot to unmute my mic. It's because I was trying to mess with the pad and I didn't want to get the pad noise, so I muted myself and I forgot to unmute myself. So I'm going to have to figure out a better way to do this. So now we're going to try the kick drum. It's very simple. A lot of it's just going to be double kicks the entire time, just like a do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Actually realize I'm just going to do it in half time and just paste. So that's the first part. Make sure all these are up. Not a huge fan of how this drum pad's treating me so far. We're going to try and quantize these, make sure... what does manual do? This part's a little confusing to me. Because technically these are 8 notes, right? I'm gonna have to figure out quantizing a little bit more. I guess it's not just a simple click and point type situation. Actually sounds pretty good. I like that. I like that. Okay, let's do a quick crash on there. And so for the crash, I think I just do it on like the 1 and 2, or not the 1 and 2, like the 1 and 3 or the 2 and 4 and switch it up every once in a while. That's fine for now. I don't know why the first one didn't count. Let's see how the sounds as the final crash. Not sure what was going on there. Every once in a while, you get a goofy That's fine. That sounds pretty good. Let's continue the rest of the... That's pretty good. I like that take. Bring these all up. a little quantize. See what That's pretty good. Alright, cool. Let's bring these two bad boys. Yeah. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now that we're here, let's just listen to the whole mix so far, see how it sounds. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think there's a lot of work to be done with some of the crash hits. They feel kind of awkward at points. The kick is pretty easy because it's basically just double kicks the entire time with little bits and pieces. The guitars definitely need a little bit of tone work, but I'm pretty happy with the rhythm and the guitar. And yeah, the drums are kind of my weak point right now. I'm not very good at writing drums, and they're probably the worst drums that a drummer's ever listened to. They're probably like, what do you, this is literally unplayable, this is horrible. But you know, that doesn't really matter because I don't have anyone to play these. They're kind of just to sound cool, so I don't care if they're impossible or unrealistic. So yeah, I think that's good right now. I'm going to take a step back and eat. I'll be right back. A little bit of snare in here. Snare's going to be kind of tough on, I have trouble with the pad. Like that end part, but I guess the beginning could have been a lot worse. I just messed around with it a little bit to move it around a bit. The annoying part is still some of these may not ring out all the way. So here I just finished the snare. Well, that sounds pretty good. Still not very good at writing drum parts. That's something I'm really gonna have to work on. As I'm noticing, I kind of have like the same type of drum part that I write, and it's kind of just got like these offbeats that can sound cool, but I feel like it's unnecessary in certain contexts of writing music. So yeah, let's just hear how this sounds. I think I'm gonna stop here because I just wanted like a simple kick, snare, crash. I guess I could add some other things too. The toms are something that I'm not 100% sure how I would incorporate those in. I'm not very good at making fills. So I'll probably get to that at some point. So I'm going to play this now, and then I think the next thing I'm going to do is try my best to mix this all together. Do some EQ, and try and explain my EQ thought process, and maybe try and do a little before-after of how it sounded and what it sounds like now. We're going to play it through now. I think I got the volume settings good. what we're dealing with. We're gonna cut these off so that they actually cut off correctly. Actually don't have what I want here at the end. Good track. Oops. Okay. So just showed the before. Now I'm just gonna kind of mess around and see if I can explain what's going on here. So I'm gonna start out first with soloing all of these guitars. I kind of want to see. Actually, I kind of want to keep everything. So I think my goal here is. So this is the lead guitar. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to EQ. We're going to have it loop just this beginning part. Just so I can kind of understand how it's sounding. So here I'm just going to put a low pass on the two lead guitars. Here's kind of like a little reference before and after. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think it's making a little bit of a difference. The other thing I notice is it's definitely pretty bad in the mids here. That's a little better. Let's see. That sounds pretty good. So looking at, I guess the best thing to do would be to pull up at both of these guitars, because then I can understand where they're sitting at. Okay, so looking at the two, I mean, they both start very similar frequencies, so if we pull that up, okay, so let's take a look at these. So obviously the kicks, since nothing's really hanging out in the low end, I don't think I need to do anything here, because I'm already cutting out a lot of this. I still want to cut out this on the... So that's pretty good. Let's take a look at the crash, maybe. So this is probably a really jank way of doing it. I'm sure there's a software. So as you can see, the crash kind of hangs out in this like 5 to 20K range, which is honestly fine because I don't really want these guitars to feel that way. The good thing here is that I could put a low pass filter, or sorry, a high pass, and try and cut down some of these frequencies. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing here on both the guitars. And that's fine. So this is pretty good. This is perfect because I kind of just, it rings out really well. So that feels pretty good. So over here we got the kick drum. Let's kind of take a look at what the kick drum's doing again. So like we said, we don't really need to touch that. Oh, it's still weird because it's got a lot of low end. No, looking at that, let's just look at the basic kick thing that they have here. Okay. I think that's perfect, actually. I like what they're doing here. I think I'll keep it that way. I feel like the next thing that's kind of a problem is the snare. I can definitely hear the snare being kind of weird. Oops, that's not... Alright, so we got the snare here. So the snare hangs out in this middle range, which is kind of a problem because okay, I kind of want to notch these. It's kind of weird that the notch goes that far down. I will definitely be downloading a different EQ next time I do this. Okay. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good. I think one of the things now is, obviously I just EQ'd this one, but this one now doesn't have the EQ. Can I copy? Okay, cool. So now these have the same. Okay, let's see how this sounds. Should definitely move these. So I'm going to... Is that what I want? Yeah. So I want to do that, and then I want to make these pan. So got these two on the left. Got these two on the right. Then I got these two. Okay, I'm pretty happy with these. The other thing I wanted to try and do is mess around in amplitude a little bit and see if there's anything I can do there. Although I feel like at this rate, since I've already dialed the tone and recorded things, I don't know how much messing in here is going to make because I just did so much EQing outside. So maybe I just leave that as it is. What I could do next is these two rhythm parts. I could also EQ inside of here. So let's get rid of this. Don't leave this here. Sorry, I'm tripping. So let's open up both of these. So we got both of the other rhythms. So as we can see with these rhythms, we're missing a little bit of that higher end. So for these ones, I'm going to try and like boost the ups a bit. See if that... this makes a difference because these two a lot of that low end muddy you could kind of hear that the right one's a lot heavier and this left one's a little clearer. So one thing that I kind of learned is when you're multi-tracking guitars, it can be smart to have them obviously playing the same thing, but having one set of rhythm guitars have a different EQ setting than the other, so that you can kind of get different parts of the sound so that they like blend together. So like that one was missing the mids because I scooped them, and a little bit of the treble because I had a high pass filter, and the other one still doesn't have the mids, but it has a little bit of the high pass filter, or you know, I don't have as much of a high pass filter, so that means that there's more clarity on the left side, but there's still that kind of like thickness on the right side. So that sounds pretty good. So I could kind of do the same thing for the lead guitar too if I wanted to. Granted. Same thing here. You can kind of hear a bit of a difference. It's pretty small. I don't even know if I could tell a difference, honestly. I could cut more of the low end, like this mid-range here. You can hear a difference. Since I messed around in like the 4 to 10K, it really has to do with the clarity and like the boxy sound of it. Because one thing I saw from a video is 4K hertz is kind of whether you put a box over your head and you're listening to the music, or you have a box off. So it kind of changes the way it feels. That sounds silly, the way it feels, but you can hear the difference between the two of these. One's more clear, the other one kind of sounds like it's in a box, and that's fine because together which sounds pretty good. Alright, so here is the after. I'll try and put a before and after to see if there's really that much of a difference, because honestly I have no idea. But this is the way we're gonna, I think, finish this out, honestly. So yeah, so this will be the final run through. Let's just see how it sounds. Okay. So now kind of just going to my overall thoughts. And I'm going to go over some things that I think I would do differently, because this definitely took me a bit, and there's a lot of mistakes I made at the beginning that definitely started biting me in the butt later on. So I'll kind of just document that, see how that feels. First, oh, where'd my things go? I just lost all my things. Anyways, so first things first, I think I did a pretty good job with the guitar tones. I probably could have dialed them in a little bit better. Anyways, I'll kind of give some of my final thoughts and things that I think I'm going to do differently in the next episode. First things first, I will definitely be toning in the guitar tone a little bit better. These ones all use the same cab, which is fine, but I think getting different tones for each guitar might be a little better. in a mix. So like this one all used Mesa Boogie's rectifiers. I'd probably switch to using like a 5150 for the rhythm, or for the lead guitar, 5150, and then the rhythm would probably be, I'd probably stick with the Boogie rectifier because I like the sound of that. The other thing I would do is, I don't know, I'm not still getting there at like writing riffs, but noodling around before finding a riff I want, and maybe even slowing it down so that it's even cleaner. That's another thing, is I kind of rush these takes. They're not perfect takes, but I kind of just wanted to put something together and see how it sounded. So as it goes on, I should get more efficient at doing better takes and just looping them over and over, so I could just take a million takes and see what happens with them. Another thing I would do is I messed up a ton of the recording process, so definitely getting better at editing, making sure I have my mic on, making sure things are set up correctly before I click record, and then I get halfway through what I'm doing just to realize I messed something up. So that's definitely something I'll take into the next one. Uh, but overall, I think it went pretty well. I definitely think the drum pad can be a pain at times, but it's not the end of the world. It's a cheap drum pad, so I really shouldn't have been expecting too much from it. But yeah, overall, I'll try and put the before and after EQ and see if that actually makes a difference in the video, and you guys will see. But now I'm going to try and edit it. It's probably going to take forever because I've taken so many videos. But yeah, we'll see if it's a success or a fail. Maybe I'll have to completely restart, but guess we'll see. So this is just me after the video edited. That took me forever, but I'm super proud of it. If you made it the whole way through, thank you. I feel like I put a lot of time into this, and I hope you enjoyed. Patty says thank you, and there will be many more to come. Hopefully the next one's not as long, because this one was kind of long. Uh, but, you know, if you made it all the way, thanks for watching, and have some faith in me, and I'll see you maybe in the next week or two. Bye!